All right, now let's look at your leading coefficient test when n is even. If you notice, whenever n is even, your graphs are always going to be opening either both up or both down. So you need to figure out, well, which one is going to give your graph, if your a is positive or if it's negative, is it going to be opening up? Well, in this case, when n is, well, actually, all cases, when a is positive, that means your graph is going to be rising to the left and to the right. And whenever your a is negative, that means your graph is going to be opening down. So I think the easiest way to remember this, whenever n is even, is to remember what happens to a quadratic function when you have an n, like your exponent is a 2. You know, if your a is positive, that means your graph is opening up. And if your a is negative, it's opening down. So I think this is a little bit easier out of the two of them. So if we look at example A here, we're going to need to list out all of our, what our f of x's are doing. So we got going negative infinity, then we have f of x is approaching blank as x is approaching positive infinity. Then we also have here on B, we're approaching blank as x approaches negative infinity, and then we're doing our positive, our x approaches positive infinity. And then same thing here on C. Now the good thing about example 3 is we have a nice little combination of positive and, or sorry, of even and odd polynomials. So for A, notice that it is a positive, or an even polynomial. So if it's even, that means your graph is either both opening up or they're both opening down. So then you look at your A value, where A is negative. So that means that your graph is going to be both opening down. So your Y values are both a negative infinity. Now if we go to B, here we have where your degree is odd. That didn't change to purple or pink. Your degree is odd, so your graph is either going to be going something like this or something like this. And if your A is negative, that means you're going to have the graph that is going down from left to right. So that means on the left side here, you have your Y value is going to a positive infinity. And then on your right side, your graph is going to be going to negative infinity. So remember, for even functions, these are always going to be the same. And for odd functions, these are always going to be different. And the last one here, we have an odd degree, which means your graph is going up from left to right or down from left to right. And if this A is positive, that means you're going to be using this graph. So on the left side, your Y is negative, and on the right side, your Y is positive. So I think it's easier if you remember that they are opposite signs if it's an odd degree polynomial, and the same sign if it's going to be even.